So, OJ, so we've talked a lot about Panerai and what got you into the business. Can you speak a little bit about the importance of the secondary market,
Sure.
transparency, and if I were to buy a pre-owned watch, what things should I be thinking about?
Sure. So I think, when I think about the secondary market, there's two words that really come to mind for me. Those two words are empowerment and credibility. I've always maintained that when you're talking about buying a pre-owned watch, you buy the seller first and foremost. And unfortunately, in the market that we're in, there's too much emphasis placed on exclusively on price. So I think when you're talking about advising people on buying pre-owned watches, it's one thing to say buy the seller, but what does that really mean? For me, it's about empowering yourself to be an educated consumer, and that means asking questions and not accepting I don't know or I'll get back to you on that as an answer. So for me, there's a list of say 10 different questions that if I'm going to buy a watch from a private retail customer or from another dealer, I'm going to ask these questions, and that's going to influence what I want to pay or what I believe fair market value to be. First and foremost, I want to know, hey, where's this watch? Is this watch in your possession? Is it in Hong Kong and you're in Hollywood, Florida? What's the story with this? If they give you something like, well, a friend of mine has this watch, then you need to dig a little deeper. Okay, so explain to me how you're going about selling this watch, Listen, there's plenty of people who will sell watches on behalf of their friends and the like, and there's nothing wrong with that per se. You just need to empower yourself to know what you're talking about, to know what you're looking at. Because if someone says, oh, it's my friend's watch and he doesn't have an eBay account, so I'm selling it for him, well, what do you think is going to happen if there's a problem with this deal?
So what about transparency? So for example, lots of dealers, that's buying from a friend, but if you're buying from a dealer, there's tons of dealers out there.
Oh gosh.
You see many Panerai watches out there, Rolex, etc. How do I know which one to purchase?
So, again, going back to buy the seller, focus on the seller's ability to market this watch as a function of the quality of their photos, as a function of the details that they can give about the watch. The great thing about a Panerai watch, for example, is you can know what its production year is by the letter on the case back. So if it's an H series, it's from 2008, for example. If it's an A series, it's from 1998. And so if someone's trying to sell you a brand new Panerai that's an H series from 2006, you got to ask the question, on what basis are you calling this a new watch? Right? It's new to you probably,
right.
But is it really a new watch? And so that's the neat thing about Panerais is there is a level of transparency, which I really appreciate because it prevents someone from trying to tell me otherwise. So if they can't tell you what letter series the watch is, you got to ask why. Right? You don't have the watch in your possession. In this sort of economy, in this sort of .com environment that we're in, there's nothing wrong with people selling watches that they can go get, but you just need to know what you're up against. You need to know if someone is selling a watch that they personally purchased brand new from the Bal Harbour boutique, or if they're selling it for their uncle who got it at a garage sale. And they're not going to tell you that in their listing.
Sure.
They're not going to tell you that on Chrono24 or on eBay. And so many of the early sellers and so many of the sellers today, they equate posting a watch online with the shortest distance between 2 points of selling a watch without having to have any personal contact.
Right.
For crying out loud, you're buying a $2,000, a $5,000, a $10,000 watch and you can't get a phone number?
Right.
If you can't talk on the phone to someone who's selling a watch, if they won't send you an email with their phone number, if they can't call you on your cell and have that number show up in caller ID, red flags all around. If they can't tell you what exact contents come with the watch, boom, red flag. If they can't tell you what date is filled in on the warranty card or the name of the authorized dealer where the watch originated from, if they can't send you a picture of that warranty card, boom, 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 red flags. And again, it's not to say that these people are criminals or are going to defraud you per se, but you just need to know what you're looking at here. And that's where I use that word, empowerment, right? Tell me how you come to sell a watch that you don't know how old it is. Right. Tell me how you're coming to sell a watch that you can't tell me when it was purchased. Right? If it's got a blank warranty card. And so that's one of the things that I warn people. Don't assume a blank warranty card equates to brand new. Right? Because that's one of the most frustrating things is, evidence to prevent you from knowing otherwise is what it should be. That's just not, it's too easy to rip the page out of the warranty booklet and call it brand new because there's no evidence to the contrary. Right. And so, again, about that empowerment. What do you mean there's not a first page in the warranty book that shows the name of the authorized dealer, the serial number, the reference number, etc.?